Stop walking on eggshells. You aren't here to fit in. You are here to be who you are. I feel like so often we are walking on eggshells, and we only walk on eggshells when we try to walk our own path. When we are walking the path, the crowded path that everyone else is on, we're fine. But it is when we turn down the path that we try to tiptoe and we act as if we're walking on eggshells and we don't want to make a noise. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves. We have to walk our own paths in life, and we have to do it confidently, and we have to do it in such a way that we're not ashamed, we're not silent. You're not walking on eggshells, but you're also not stomping on the eggshells and drawing attention to yourself and saying, look at me, I'm walking my own path. That is also not what one should do. One should walk their own path and be who they are because they have to. They need to. They understand that the unlived life will make one ill, and they understand what their soul is yearning for. So they give their soul what it is yearning for. I'm here not to fit in. I'm here to be who I am. And that is what we should tell ourselves on a day in and day out basis. We need to constantly be reminded of this fact, I believe. And there's many facts we need to be constantly reminded of. And another one I believe is our mortality. When one forgets that one is going to die, one acts as if they can let this day, this moment slip by. One acts as if they can be timid and not stand up for what they believe in. But our time is running out, and we only have so many opportunities to stand up for what we believe in, to be who we are, and to walk our own path. And when one isn't constantly reminding oneself that it comes to an end, it's easy to just not be uncomfortable. It's easy to just seep into that comfort, seep into that no change, just day in and day out, because growth is hard, because growth means change, and change means discomfort. And for people that avoid change and discomfort, growth is impossible. And it's a pity to go through life with no growth. And it's a pity to go through life not giving your soul what it is yearning for. And I believe that's what we do on a day in and day out basis when we all walk on eggshells. We're afraid to say what we believe in. We're afraid to put I before things. I believe, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. We so timidly ask for permission to live our own life, to walk our own path. One who keeps in mind constantly the fact that you're going to die, I'm going to die, we're all going to die, doesn't walk so timidly, doesn't place so much value in the opinions of other people. Marcus Aurelius said, we love ourselves more than other people, yet we care more about their opinions than our own. And that's one of the saddest truths for humanity. Because we let the opinions of others stop us from living our lives, from doing that which we know we should do. And we let the opinions of others make us walk on eggshells. because we don't want to upset them. We don't want to, we don't want to do that taboo, even though it makes no sense and it doesn't benefit you, but you just conform. You conform to the crowd, to the herd, and you live your life in quiet desperation, never doing what you truly want, never being who you truly are. And then you get to your final days, and something inside of you is not happy, and you don't know what it is, but you just feel like you did something wrong. And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of, coming to the end and looking back at a unlived life that I should have lived, and how trivial it would all look in the end, because you're about to die and realize, oh, I was meant to just go for it. I was meant to just live. I wasn't meant to walk this other path just because everyone else was doing it. I was meant to walk that path, that that path I saw, you know, so long ago, but I decided not to take. That path I saw that no one was walking, so I didn't want to take it. So I followed the herd. They all acted like they knew where they were going, so I followed them. But in the end, we all came to the end of the path and admitted that no one knew where they were going and just pointed fingers saying, I was following you. And then, well, oh, I was following him. I was following him. And you realize that you messed up, that no one knew what they were doing. And something inside of you, something that knows you better than you know you, knew what it wanted. And you never listened to it. You never listened to what that thing was telling you to go for. And whenever you did, you'd walk on eggshells. Walking on eggshells is a pitiful existence. Never just asserting yourself and saying, no, this is what I'm going to do. No, this is the path I am walking. You're not walking the wrong path. You're just not walking my path. So I'm not doing that. And just standing your ground and saying, no, this is what I'm going to do. But instead, as I said, we so timidly ask for permission. Can I do this? May I do this? Instead of just respectfully telling them, or telling whoever, telling the world, or telling yourself, no, this is what I'm doing, whether people agree or whether they like it or not. This is what I am doing. Not because I want to, but because now I understand I need to. I understand that there is more to my life than what it was I was doing. If you are, sad or depressed, change something. Like, what's that Albert Einstein quote where it's like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. If you're depressed, if you're sad, and you're doing the same thing day in and day out, and you're suppressing that internal voice that's telling you to do something different, why are you expecting that one day you're just going to wake up and you're going to be happy? As I said, the unlived life will make you ill. And if you walk on eggshells, you will live an unlived, there will be an unlived life that you never lived, because you never had the courage to just stand up and say, no, this is what I'm doing. You'll never have the courage to ruffle any feathers. to go against the grain, to do that which people don't do for no good reason. They act like there's a reason. They act like it's a taboo for a good reason, but there's really no good reason. And you've come to know that. You've come to know that. And if you let the opinion of what other people are going to think because you're doing something that they don't see why, or they don't believe in, or they think you're a bad person for, or that you've changed, you'll have an unlived life. And you'll have to deal with that every night when you look in the mirror and when you come to the end of the road. I think it's good to remind yourself before you take a leap, before you listen to your heart, before you go for it, that in 200 years, no one's going to remember your name. Unless, I don't even want to say you're lucky, but it's uncommon for sure. We'll just say it's uncommon to have your name remembered in 200 years. But yet we act as if our actions are going to sting eternally, that we're going to be a laughing stock for, generations to come. Everyone's going to remember that time where, I went against the grain and I was completely wrong and I had to, go back with my tail tucked between my legs. It's like, one thing that's even more important than no one's going to remember your name in 200 years is the fact that you're not going to be around in 200 years. Just live. And don't walk on eggshells. And don't stomp on eggshells. Just walk your own path without drawing attention, but without resisting attention. Because both are a vice. Both are taken to the extreme. The middle way is the way. Be confident, but don't be cocky. Do that which you know you need to do. And don't be sorry. Don't say sorry for walking your own path. There's nothing to be sorry about. There's nothing to be sorry about doing that which you know you need to do. For living the life you know you must live. Be respectful always. Be kind. These are virtues, and these are the fruits of life. Unselfish actions and acts for the common good. That's what Marcus Aurelius says to himself. So always be respectful and always be kind. But also, there's no need to say sorry when you're doing something you need to do, when you're walking your own path, when you're trying to become something that's not easy. But for that reason, it's all the worth doing. I just wanted to make this video, hopefully as always, to get something off my chest and maybe, dig deeper into it. Friedrich Nietzsche talks about philosophizing with a hammer. And I like to think I like to do that with these videos. I also journal a lot. And that's what I try to do, dig deep, drive the nail deep and get new realizations. And I also wanted to do that, but also bring to your guys' attention the fact that you may be walking on eggshells. You may be saying sorry, or you may be doing things that you really don't want to do, but because of the opinions of other people, or because there's just some taboo in place that you don't want to break, even though you don't understand it. And this video is just to urge you to just live your life and be yourself. I'm not here to fit in. I'm here to be who I am. And so are you. And so is everybody. To live a life caring about what other people think is a pitiful existence, especially if those people are not living the life you want to live. I don't like saying never, especially in the context of listening to other people. But, with a lowercase n, never listen to somebody advice who does not have the life that you want. Take that criticism with a grain of salt. Yes, see it from their perspective. Yes, understand where they're coming from. Yes, take it in as, whatever, take it in as potential, um, potential help, potential advice. But remember, this person is giving me advice from the point of view of their life and their goals and their limitations. And they're living a life that I would never want to live. So why in the world would I take their advice? If you take their advice, you're going to have a life similar to theirs. So walk your own path. It's better to fail walking your own path than to fail walking someone else's path. Walking, failing walking someone else's path is unbearable. And it can't be done without pointing fingers. And who wants to point fingers in this life? Take ownership. And the only way you can take ownership so easily is if you walk your own path and realize, yeah, I messed up. But I did something I did something I needed to do. I had to do it. I had to figure it out for myself. And now I know. So just stop walking on eggshells. Don't be sorry for walking your own path. Don't be timid. Remember you're going to die. And don't let the unlived life make you ill.